Yo guys, Coach Theo here on Common Sense. Today is going to be another one of these little training vlogs. My uploading schedule is a bit less structured at the moment as I just got a ton of other stuff going on. Among other things, I've started working in a gym a little bit again. You know, it takes some time to bring on new clients. I'm moving, I'm changing apartments. So yeah, today I'm going to bring you along as I do a push workout and do a little bit of commentary. Right now, I'm catching some rare sunlight here in the winter. You know, I will always keep stressing this, guys. Get sunlight when you can, especially if you live in places that get really dark in the winter, like Sweden. You don't get to complain about being depressed and stuff unless you do these very important little things, like sleeping enough, eating well, training, and getting sunlight. So I wanted to start with a little just rant monologue. Like on the last video I did like this. Some guy commented it was a pool workout. And you know, I mentioned that my elbows are a bit beat up, and some guy commented something like, "Oh, I can see where your elbows are beat up. You're lifting way too heavy. You should stop ego lifting. Blah blah blah. You have terrible form." Something like this. And look, I'm gonna tell you. Of course, I have an ego. I'm not God. It's of course stuff can get to me. But if there's something that can't get to me, it's like some random pencil neck that I must assume when he's anonymous. You know. Criticizes my training, you know, because I have amazing training results and I know that I do extremely well with my training, and I in fact put very little ego into my training. So this is just bullshit. So I just responded, you know, post physique or GTFO, because there's always some anonymous like besserwisser shows up and think they have something of importance to say. You know, maybe, you know, I'm happy to get input from someone that I think is ahead of me. I'm very confident in what I do, but if I can improve, I want to. But look, lifting heavy is not ego lifting. Like I lift quite heavy, but I could move a lot more weight if I in fact had ego, right? I squat ass to grass. I do chin-ups through a full range of motion. I do dips way below parallel. I do dumbbell presses way below parallel. I do ring push-ups. I do everything like this. I try to combine as heavy of a weight as possible that I can control through a full range of motion. Okay, it's not ego lifting to lift heavy, and I in fact have really good form. It's such an interesting critique, actually. Like, do you know that it's actually there is ego lifting when guys take too much weight, and you get like you think about what numbers make you feel good rather than getting the results that you want. And I was a bit more like that when I started training, you know, like squatting. I would go to parallel or just above rather than parallel or just below. Now I go ass to grass, you know. But you know, so there is ego lifting when you just like the nice number and you butcher the form too much. But there is ego lifting in the other direction too. These skinny fucking guys that come with a whole equipment, knee wraps, and do like extensive warm-ups only to squat like 50 kilos or something, you know. And these people, I've talked about that before, I think, emphasize mind-muscle connection, contact, as they say in Swedish. I mean, it's all ego, like, no, I don't care about weights, I'm just looking for contact. And they do such ridiculously strict form that, you know, that it's not heavy enough. And this kind of person loves, this is the opposite ego trip, you know, see how little I care about the weight. I'm moving, actually doing like perfect form. You know, the ego-less, which is true best way, find the average between these two. You should be moving heavy weights even when you emphasize form and contact, mind-muscle connection. Find the average where you can have really good form but also move a lot of weight. It's not ego lifting. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. So yeah, now I'll go finish some work, then I'll go train. I'll show you guys. Push workout today.
Alright, first up is the incline bench press. An exercise that's more important to have in your program than the flat bench, in my opinion, because, well, there's nothing wrong with a flat bench, especially if you have strength goals, but that upper chest area is more important to target. For aesthetics, in my opinion, lots of guys are lacking there, so the incline bench does the job, and I just think there are better options a lot of the time when you want to target the middle and lower chest. But here, I hit 95 kilos for 8 reps followed by 7 and 7 reps last time, so it was time to move up in weight. 100 kilos, I had a goal to get 3 sets of 5, but I surprised myself by getting 6 reps on the first set. This is sort of a milestone. I've always wanted to rep 100 kilos on the incline. Very good. Next up is the, well, it doesn't have a name yet, but the uncommon sense dip, I guess, when you put the weight belt from your neck instead of your waist. It's not just to look cool or because it trains the neck more, as some people thought. No, the weight will pull you forward when you have it that, and this will, the angle will isolate the chest better, so you'll be weaker, you have to use less weight. I have 30 kilos here, did 8 reps the first set, but you really get a chest pump that I don't think you do from regular dips, even though that's a great exercise too. But yeah, last set that I didn't film, dropped the weight, rep out on body weight reps, but this together with the incline bench, amazing chest workout in and of itself. Next is a very standard seated shoulder dumbbell press that I just added back into my program because I went with more stable options for a while when my wrist was still hurt. I used a shoulder press machine, but of course I want to be more athletic and move free weights. Not much to say here. I like the dumbbells because you can drift further out to the side with the elbows, hit the mid-delt more, and yeah, I go for going as deep as possible. I even started to, if you can see, I started to turn the dumbbells a bit, so just so they don't hit my shoulders. And the last rep of these is always such a grind, but gotta get it. Next is a cable triceps push away using these wrist cuffs that you don't really have to. A rope works great. It's just another thing I did for my wrist. You know, when you use a rope, you will turn your wrist a little bit, and now I still just sticking with the cuffs, as it's not worse at least. But yeah, let your elbows drift far away back over your head. Get a good stretch of the long head of the triceps. And I start out strict, and then I start ego lifting, you know. Like you can see that I'm doing the very strict reps until the end, where I use just a bit of body English to get 1 or 2 more reps out of the set. And what's been the last exercise for a long time is a good old cable lateral raise. Amazing, with a mid-delt. You can see that this workout is it's chest, mid-delt and triceps focused. I would many times add one extra triceps exercise, but I've just been holding back a bit because of my little injuries. Now, yeah, I can start adding it back, but this is how I've done it for a long time. But yeah, if you want to blow up those mid-delts, going really intense with these sorts of exercises like a cable lateral raise really is the way to do it, in my opinion. Double drop set, last set, of course. And I did actually throw in one triceps sort of V-bar push down that I think is a good variation to not just target the long head but target the other 2 heads a bit more. But I could feel a little bit of discomfort in my wrist, so I just did one double drop set here. But yeah, guys, that's a good push workout for anyone really, but to target the chest, focus on the upper chest because the incline bench is the first exercise we do. For our shoulders, we focus mainly on the middle because the front gets so much from all the pressing anyway. And triceps, for a guy like me that considers arms to be the weak point, of course you gotta have some isolated triceps exercises in there. But yes, this is it for this vlog, guys. I wish you a good weekend and I will see you. Like and comment, all that stuff. Do you like seeing the workouts? Maybe I'll keep doing. Maybe I'll keep posting them then. Let me know. Peace.